Hello, and welcome back to Tokkertik. Every day, headlines speak of distant conflicts, geopolitical shifts, and global tensions. But what happens when these distant tremors reach our shores, reshaping the very ground beneath our feet? Today, our focus turns to a pivotal point on the global map: Sicily. This island, a timeless crossroads in the heart of the Mediterranean, has always been a convergence point for cultures, for trade, and crucially, for strategic global interests. In recent months, that seemingly quiet daily life has begun to reveal unsettling cracks. Signals, discussions, alarms. They force us to confront a vital yet uncomfortable question. What if the conflicts we watch from afar were to have concrete, undeniable effects right here on this island? The answer is complex, multi-layered. To truly grasp its implications, we must first understand its foundations. Chapter 1. Sicily's geopolitical position, a sensitive bridge. Sicily is far more than just a beautiful tourist destination. It is a critical bridge between continents. Positioned centrally between the Strait of Gibraltar and the Suez Canal, it naturally dictates vital naval and air routes for both civilian and military traffic. This island serves as an indispensable platform for surveillance and logistics, effectively overseeing the flow of essential goods and information across the central Mediterranean. For centuries, this unique geographical advantage has woven together the economic, military, and political interests of global powers. Consequently, Sicily has become home to and continues to host strategic infrastructures fundamental to Allied forces and international operations. We're not merely talking about military presences, but about vital nodes within the entire Western defense architecture. Among these, two names stand out as paramount: Sigonella and the MUOS system in Niscemi. Chapter 2. The Strategic Nodes, Sigonella and MUOS. Sigonella is a base of multifaceted importance, defined by its logistics and central location. It is not simply an airfield. It is a vital logistics hub for NATO aircraft conducting operations from North Africa to the Middle East. It acts as a critical support center for complex air missions, a key refueling point, and crucially, the primary base for advanced reconnaissance assets, like spy drones like the Global Hawks, essential for monitoring distant borders and theaters of conflict. It is the connective tissue linking Sicilian territory to broader networks, commands, and information flows that span continents. The MUOS system in Niscemi, on the other hand, is a ground station integrated into a global satellite communication network. This system is engineered to guarantee high-capacity, uninterrupted communication links for military operations, designed to seamlessly integrate moving naval, air, and ground forces worldwide. It functions as the invisible heart of many strategic communications, yet it has frequently been at the center of intense public and legal debate, fueled by environmental and health concerns raised by local groups such as the No MUOS committees. When infrastructures of this magnitude become factors in an international crisis, the entire paradigm of security undergoes a fundamental shift. Chapter 3. The hybrid threat, not just missiles. The threat is no longer solely about the remote yet real possibility of a direct, conventional attack. Today, the greatest danger emanates from the realm of hybrid warfare. Key installations transform into sensitive targets susceptible to non-kinetic strikes. We are talking about cyber attacks, disrupting IT networks, sabotaging communication systems, or attempting to trigger blackouts in logistics chains are highly effective methods to cripple military infrastructure without a single shot being fired. Furthermore, we must not overlook civilian infrastructures. An assault on energy grids, the submarine cables that carry our telecommunications, or critical signaling platforms can create widespread instability even far from an active armed conflict, with devastating ripple effects even on military bases that rely on those very civilian networks. Then there is the powerful component of perception. When a population lives under the shadow of potential military targets, the effect on the social fabric, the local economy, and critically, on tourism, vital for the island, is immediate and often far more enduring than the direct conflict itself. Understandably, public debate has reignited with intensity in recent days. Some experts and political figures are now drawing urgent attention to concrete risks, citing plausible scenarios of escalation. Others, however, underscore the deterrent role of the Allied presence, reminding us of the concomitant benefits in terms of investment and local employment. This is an unavoidable confrontation, reflecting often irreconcilable positions: security versus sovereignty, protection versus environmental impact. The public demonstrations against militarization and the demands for transparency from citizens and local administrations remain a vital and necessary component of this ongoing democratic dialogue. Chapter 4: Operational Scenarios and Civilian Consequences. From an operational perspective, envisioning potential scenarios is not about inciting panic, but about understanding probabilities and preparing countermeasures. The island's military infrastructures could rapidly become accelerated logistics bases for the movement of assets, for intensifying air and sea surveillance, and for coordinating joint NATO operations. Should an international crisis escalate into a large-scale conflict, it is plausible that intelligence and logistics support operations would launch from or be heavily facilitated by these very sites. This makes Sicily not only strategically invaluable, but also inevitably vulnerable. For the civilian population, the consequences could range from simple temporary restrictions on air or maritime traffic to highly coordinated emergency operations or even worse scenarios in the event of targeted actions against these infrastructures. It is therefore absolutely essential that authorities prepare clear, comprehensive plans and actively involve regional and local civil protection agencies in their formulation. History, after all, serves as a profound teacher. Sicily is no stranger to being a theater for strategic and diplomatic events. The memories of the 20th century, from logistical air operations during the Cold War to moments of acute tension, are not mere chronicles of the past. They represent a wealth of accumulated experience that explains why many citizens and administrators today demand clear answers regarding the current level of risk and the policies in place for its management. In this critical context, institutional transparency takes on a role of paramount importance. Chapter 5: The Human Aspect and Necessary Transparency. Beyond the military dimension lies a far more tangible reality, one that directly impacts the daily lives of its people. Those who work in tourism, who manage small businesses, who simply live near these strategic installations, all look to the future with a complex mix of concern and a desire for normal routine. The job market, schools, public health, services, every facet of life can be influenced by the perception of risk. Even if the gravest scenarios remain remote, the mere possibility subtly yet constantly shapes behaviors and decisions, often in ways unseen. In this intricate framework, what can we as citizens justly demand from our institutions? Firstly, clarity. We need updated, verifiable information on protection measures, comprehensive emergency plans that actively involve the citizenry, and direct, reliable communication channels. But equally, we demand democratic oversight.
Decisions concerning national security cannot be confined to closed rooms. They must emerge from an open, inclusive dialogue, one that embraces not only military experts, but the wider population and local authorities. It is only through such a process that trust is genuinely built and a community's true capacity for resilience and response is forged. The diplomatic dimension plays an equally fundamental role. Prevention, after all, is the ultimate defense. Foreign policy and international alliances define the very contours of any crisis. For Sicily, this means being an active participant in a broader debate, one that involves the national government and its international partners. The resilience of any community is not forged in the midst of a crisis, but proactively through prevention and preparation.
Dear friends of Tokkertik, if the content of this video was useful to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hit the notification bell. Thank you very much.